Hello there, I'm Big Alias. Did you know that there's a guy on Read My Play on Facebook who will take a POV shot of like some soft food with his thumb like dug straight into it, and a bottle of Jack in the background, and a BMW steering wheel in front of him, and that is content, baby. Speaking of content, this is entirely different. Do you know what? This is surprising. This is very surprising, and the surprising thing is, to me, the response to this rather than the thing itself. Firstly, by the way, this is Future Warfare. Call of Duty Future Warfare. It's a counter Call of Duty game that they actually had a lot of assets and polish for, and it's very surprising in a lot of ways. Firstly, people weren't around for it, but it's very interesting to see people speculate over why this was made and when it was made and etc. etc. I think it was around about 2010 that the room was floating around about Future Warfare. So I can give you some insight here. They had registered the domain that far back, and it's really interesting to see people just like, yeah, I've heard this was made in around about 2013, and it was a concept, and it was going to be Advanced Warfare, or like, oh, it was going to be Infinite Warfare, but they scrapped it. It's like, you have no idea, dude. Who is your informant? Fire them immediately. You don't hire informants, but do it anyway. Hire him and sack him. Hire him to go and get your pizza to stick your thumb into, and then sack the guy. It was incorrect. Yeah, Future Warfare was going to be, I think, like a lot of people saying, Ghost, potentially. Given the time that it was being developed, it seems as though maybe that wouldn't be the case. I'm wondering if they were planning to slot it in after Modern Warfare 3, because obviously Sledgehammer took over a lot with Modern Warfare 3. I don't know, something like that, and then to have a larger gap to Black Ops 2. But then, of course, Infinite Warfare, Infinity Ward, the guys who ran Infinity Ward, I think Zampella was one of them, were then fired for, oh my god, it was something really bad. It was some sort of gross misconduct, like selling secrets or something like that to other people. It was something very dramatic, and of course they were let go, which shook everything up, and I guess they just decided to put Black Ops 2 out a little bit sooner, I guess. I mean, it was the trajectory that they were on, but there were a lot of rumors going on around then that there was going to be an adventure Call of Duty game, that they were going to go to some sort of subscription model Call of Duty game, third person. There was a lot of experimentation that was being talked about then, and honestly, a lot of it wasn't discounted and was, quite feasible. So that's sort of where this came from. I do sort of believe that it was going to be Ghosts, but at the same time, based off of what I'm seeing, I'm not entirely sure. And ever the contrarian that I am, which I am, I can't help it, dude. I have to be different. I guess you could say I'm not like other guy. Damn it, man. You know what? I think I just threw up in my mouth saying that. But yeah, ever the contrarian that I am, I disagree with what a lot of people are saying. A lot of people are saying like, "Oh my god, this is just Ghosts, dude. This is basically Ghosts with some Infinite Warfare mixed in." Now, I agree with the Infinite Warfare slant, because how could I not? The setup of the game is the same as the setup of Infinite Warfare, and I'm assuming they took a lot from this game to make Infinite Warfare. Zero G, the outside battles, the way that things interact with other things in terms of gravity and what have you. That makes sense. It's a path they would have gone down, is to use those assets. But I think in terms of gameplay, this is just Modern Warfare 2. This is Modern Warfare 2 with a futuristic future skin on it, which again would make sense because the rumors were floating around about 2010, not like 2012, I guess, because they would have started development on Ghosts after Modern Warfare 3. Yeah, it feels a lot more like, in my opinion, Modern Warfare 2 than Ghost. The sprint animation is lifted from Modern Warfare 2, and I know this because I'm the guy who fixates constantly on like how nice that sprint animation was in Modern Warfare 2 and Black Ops 1, and this is that one where the gun comes all the way across. A lot of the reload animations are very similar to ones that we saw in Modern Warfare 2, which obviously was going to happen because the guns were going to borrow animation cycles and what have you from that game, from Modern Warfare 2, and the overall feel of the game. A lot of the sound effects are taken from Modern Warfare 2. I think the biggest thing is the HUD. I don't know how people could see that HUD and go, Oh, this is Ghost. It's clearly not. The lighting engine feels a lot different than it did in Ghost, and it feels like the Modern Warfare 2 lighting engine. So in my opinion, this is just Modern Warfare 2 in space. If anything, it's that the promise that we got from the trailer that there was going to be a space mission. Do you remember when the EMP hit, and the guy was up in space, and it turned out to just be that. It was just a cutscene. In my opinion, it's just that mission is what we saw. With the Modern Warfare 2 guns and skins. Do I think it was exciting? I think a lot of people are like hyped up and amped up and like, oh, this is awesome. Why didn't they just Nah. No, not really. I mean, I played Modern Warfare 2. I love Modern Warfare 2. I think it's a phenomenal game. It doesn't mean that when I see something that is basically the same, I'm going to get excited. This looks like Modern Warfare 2 DLC. And there are a lot of people saying, like, they should have just released this, man. Oh, they should just put this one out, dude. This should have been the game. Oh, this is awesome. This would have saved the series. As if the series needs saving. But I do understand that, in the early to mid 2010s, it did take a bit of a battering. But no, I don't think so. I think people still would have hated the game, regardless of whether they released this or Ghost. I think it's really funny that half of the comments are, this is just Ghost in space, and also, they should have released this instead of Ghost. People would have absolutely loved it. Yeah, I mean, and they also kind of did release this game. They released it with Infinite Warfare. He didn't like that. It was actually one of the few Call of Duty games that I do agree was a little bit underrated. I actually really enjoyed Infinite Warfare. And I think I actually like the multiplayer more than most, because I preferred the multiplayer for Infinite Warfare than Black Ops 3. Shoot me now, go for it. I don't know, I just enjoyed it more. And the campaign was great too. So they basically did release this game in 2016, and it was pretty good, but it received a lot of hate and everybody absolutely hated it, and I'm sorry, that's how you would have felt. I think nostalgia is so weird to me. It's so weird how it can just eradicate how people A, felt, and B, obviously would have felt. I mean, that's obviously how people would have felt, but people are so blinded by like, oh, what could have been, what could have happened, this intangible thing that I can't touch or play. If I could just have it, it would have been so much better, but I just don't think that's the case. This is Modern Warfare 2 in space. You definitely would have complained if you played this in 2013, because you would have said that it's too outdated, and it's just Modern Warfare 2, and I just don't think it would have been that groundbreaking, to be honest with you. But it's cool. It's cool to see this. I'm glad all this stuff is being unearthed. It would be great if we could see some more stuff like this. I absolutely love this concept gameplay stuff. I loved it with Halo 2 when we saw a lot of the animations there. Like the Halo 2 sprint animation, yes, it exists. And the Halo 2 middle finger animation, and yes, that does genuinely exist too, which I just think is awesome. I love seeing this type of stuff. And I think it's super cool. And I'm annoyed I didn't talk about it sooner. I realized I was going to put this at the start of the video, actually. But yeah, I didn't really get around to talking about this. And then I decided, I'm going to give it a watch. And I just scrolled through the comments and I thought, what? Guys, no. So I thought I'd make this video. I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think if you want to. And I'll see everyone later.
PlayStation's only $149, and you can also get leading titles.